Okay, here's our review for the 3-1, 3-2, 3-6, and Piecewise quiz for the next day. And I wanted to first take a look at the solving this system by graphing. So the big thing here is to solve for y and have your calculator do a little bit of legwork for us. So I have these two equations spread out. Let's first solve for y here by adding 3x to both sides. And these are going to cancel out. So you're going to be left with negative 2y. Don't forget that negative. 3x minus 7. And then divide everything by 2. So this is going to become, or negative 2, excuse me. That's going to become y. 3 divided by negative 2x minus, don't forget that negative, minus 7 over 2. 7 over negative 2, which is going to make that plus. Next one, subtract 3x from both sides. And that's going to leave us with negative y. Sorry about the technical difficulties here. Negative 3y just negative y equals negative 3x plus 10. Now you can go ahead and divide everything by negative 1, in essence just changing the sign of everything. And plug this into your calculator and plug this into your calculator and see where they intersect using second calc intersect. After you plug that in, you'll find out that you've got a solution of 3, negative 1. So going to be a 1, 2, 3, down 1. And that's going to be your intersection point for when you draw these lines. Let's move on down to our second one here. Draw a little line here to separate the equations. Again, solving for y. This one's a little quirky. You can get y by itself by subtracting 12 from both sides. And remember, that's just the same thing as y equals negative 4x minus 12. You plug this line into your equation. And here, solve for y also. Subtract 4x from both sides. Then divide everything by negative 4. These are going to cancel out to just y. Negative divided by negative is positive, 1x. And positive divided by negative is going to be a negative 2. So you'll also plug this into your calculator. And you'll find out that your solution is negative 2, negative 4. Miss Carmine went ahead and talked a lot about the process of plugging this into your calculator. Remember, the months are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. L2 is going to be the revenue. L3 is going to be the expenses. And you will create two linear regressions. You'll have one stored in Y1 and have another stored in Y2. So this one's going to be, in essence, linreg, linear regression, L1, comma, L2, comma, vars, y vars, enter for Y1. And then this one here, in essence, is going to be L1, comma, L3, comma, then you'll have to plug in Y2. When you go to vars, y vars, enter, then go down to Y2. Again, this one here is for your revenue. This one here is for your expenses. And when you want to find out where they both intersect, so you're going to use second calc intersect on those regressions. Remember to use Zoom 9 when graphing these. Let's talk about using this one to solve by substitution. Here are the two equations. This one seems easiest to work with. I'm not sure exactly why, but I'm just going to pick this one. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. Reverse all the signs by dividing by -1. Now this is equal to y, so I'm going to plug this into this original equation. Solve for x. I'm going to move some stuff here, erase it. Simplify. Well, that didn't happen. I'm going to distribute that negative all the way through. Combine. Solve for x. Divide by -5. And I have x equals 3. Now I can plug it back into one of these original ones. How about the bottom one again? And that's going to be 9 minus y. Subtract 9 from both sides, and you're going to have -y equals 2. Therefore, positive y equals -2. And I've got my x and my y value for my intersection point. My solution is going to be 3, -2. So I would just go ahead and plot these points. 3, -2, and that would be my solution. Now, remember that if you do this by graphing, you're going to solve for y and graph it on the calculator, or we could have also solved this using matrices and would have plugged this into the A matrix. We would have used our row reference, our rref, found out our solution that way. take a better look at that in the next problem. Cleaning up to do, it looks like. Number 5, we've got all the coefficients in the answers right here in the matrix. You can plug that in and find your solution that way, or you could solve for y like we mentioned. Subtract 7x from both sides. And then divided everything by 2. And we would have plugged this one into y1 using our parentheses around these fractions. Awfully helpful. Solve for y here. Subtract 4x from both sides. Divided everything by -7. And again, remembering to use parentheses when we're plugging those in. Graph both of these, and you'll find your solution on the graph. Here's another one. Solve for y. Divide everything by 2. Solve for y. Divide everything by 6. Number 7, they ask you to find out in the system of equations that represents the number of adults and children in this situation. A group of 36 people attend a ball game. There were twice as many children as adults in the group. Set up the system. Well, if we have adults and children, we're going to have a total of 36. So I'm going to have adults and children with a total of 36. And one way to get totals is to add up everything. So that's your first equation. As a matter of fact, look, all of these have your first equation, a plus c equals 36. So now let's take a look at the idea of twice as many children as there are adults. So if we have children over here and adults over here, and we have twice as many children as adults, that means the children are going to be more. So to make the children equal to the adults, we have to multiply the adults by 2. So let's take a look at which one of these setups does that. That's a +2, that one's out. That's a +2, that one's out. And that is not c equals 2a, that's a equals 2c. A is our correct answer. And lo and behold, there's twice as many children as there are adults. Number 8, talking a little bit about matrices. I'm going to scratch this off here. They're asking us to find A, row 2, column 3. Well, let's go to row 2. This is the 1, 2, 3 rows. So I'm going to go to the second row, third column, first column, second column, third column. So A sub 2, 3 is equal to -6. Number 9 here, I've gone ahead and put those into a matrix, and you guys can find those solutions on your own. Good luck on the quiz.